So welcome to this ASA level orientation. After O level or IGCSE, if you are planning to take IAL Pearson Edexcel ASA level math, this video is just for you. In this session, I'm going to explain it very clearly about this curriculum and the exam pattern. What are the things you need to know about the exams, how to use the textbook and everything. Okay, so first of all, IAL is international advanced level. So there is AS level and A level. You will be taking AS level in year 12, A level after that in year 13. AS is advanced subsidiary level, A level is advanced level. Pearson Edexcel is a curriculum and the exam board. Now, here in AS level, you have pure math 1. There are two compulsory components. Pure math 1, pure math 2. And then you need to take, we are going to call it component. This is one component, this is another component. The third component is you have statistics 1 or mechanics 1. You can choose either one of these. So you need to take 3 components. So you will be given a grade depending on the scores you are getting in all 3 components. They are going to combine it. You will get a different separate score also, and then you will get a combined score. They will generate a grade. Talking about grade, A is the highest grade. So you will have A, B, C, D, E. I don't know whether there is F or not, but and then U is ungraded. That means you fail. Highest grade is A. Okay. Now, first you need to know the code actually. So for pure math 1, the paper code is WMA11/01. For pure math 2, it's WMA12/01. For statistics, it's WST01. For mechanics, WME01. These are all the paper code. Why it's important? Because when you look for resources, you need to take the resources involving the particular paper code. Okay, they started this curriculum in 2018. Before it was C1, C2, C1 to 1. So they started this curriculum in 2018 actually. That's when they started this P1 and P2. So in AS level, you need to take 3 components. P1, P2 compulsory components. Here, this one, you need to take either one of these. If you are planning to go to engineering, mechanics and all, you can take mechanics 1 here. It's all about like moving parts, laws of physics, forces and all this thing. Statistics is all about probabilities, discrete and continuous random variable, distributions and all this thing. You must have learned the basics of statistics in IGCSE like mean, median, mode and all. Here you are going to learn some advanced stuff. So if you ask me which component should I take, which one is easy, I cannot really say which one is easy. Both are like equally difficult, I would say. Okay, statistics is more into probabilities, random variable, tree diagram, Venn diagram. And then when I say tree diagram, Venn diagram, it's not like O-level math, the simple one. It's going to be a complex one. And then mechanics also. Okay, so some students they opt for S1, some students they opt for mechanics. So if you are really confused, you can talk to your teacher and find out which one suits you, so you can take one. So you have 3 components. Okay. Now these are all the paper code for each component. And then the Pearson Edexcel is conducting exam 3 times in a year. There is an exam in January, February, and then the main exam is in May, June. Most of the students, they will be taking the exam in May, June. And then you have exam in October, November. In this October, there are exams coming up. So in most of the schools, they allow students to take the exam only in May, June. In some schools, they will allow you to take one component in January, February. That means you can take either maybe P1 in January, February, P2 and S1 in May, June, or P2 and Mechanics 1 in May, June. You need to finish off by May, June. And then let's say you don't get a good decide score, you want to improve your score, you can resit in October, November, or the next January, February and all. Okay. But in some school, they won't allow you to take any component in January, February. They want you to take all three components in May, June, S1 or M. But you have 3 exam series. So as a person, I've been teaching this curriculum since its inception since 2018. They started this curriculum. I've been teaching this. So I can tell you by looking at the past paper, the January, February 1 is comparatively easier compared to May, June or October, November. So I always ask my students to take one component in January, February. If you are taking AS level, you can take P1 here, or A level, you can take P3. I'll talk about A level later. So you need to talk to, in some school they allow, in some school you need to talk to your teacher and get the permission and take. If there is a possibility, I would strongly advise you to take at least one component in January, February, and then the balance 2 in May, June. Okay, understand? So far so good? Any questions so far, Zainab?
No.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the exam pattern now. Okay. Before that, I put an image of a calculator here. You need to purchase this calculator. At least this, there are a lot of varieties of calculators that are allowed in the exam, but this is the one most of the students use, the Casio FX 991 ES Plus. Because if you look at the calculator, it has logarithm, natural logarithm, integration also, and there are a lot of other functions here, okay, like NCR, NPR, and then storing option, all these things. So this is the recommended calculator, and there are other calculators also. Some students are using graphing calculator and all. Okay, but I heard from some students that if you use a graphing calculator, the simple functions are very harder to use. But my students are getting even 100 out of 100 using just this calculator. Okay, now so you need to buy this one. You cannot use the basic one because this has a bigger display. When you simplify certs and all, right, this will be very useful, not the normal one with the smaller display. And then talking about exam pattern, for every component, right, the exam is for 1 hour 30 minutes. So let's say P1 exam, the exam is for 1 hour 30 minutes. The total marks will be 75 marks. So how many questions will there be? You'll get anything between 9 to 11 questions. Mostly 9 and 10. In some paper there are 11 questions also. Okay. And then the Pearson Edexcel, they want you to use black ballpoint pen. Black ballpoint pen. And when you want to draw a diagram and all, you need to use pencil. A graph and all, you need to use pencil. Okay. Now the exam is for 1 hour 30 minutes. The total marks is 75 marks. So when you get the result, you will get the raw marks. That means how much you score out of 75. Let's say you got 65, and then you will get UMS score. So the UMS score is they will convert your raw score into UMS score out of 100. The raw score is out of 75, UMS is out of 100. That's like uniform mark scale. They have some calculation actually. After the result publication, they will release the grade threshold where you can see how to convert your mark to UMS. Okay. So you will get UMS score also for 65, let's say 80 out of 100 or something like that. Okay, it's not a mathematical calculation. You put a ratio and convert. They have a separate calculation actually. So they will release that after the result. So you will get your raw score and UMS score. So if you are taking 3 components P1, P2, S1, you will get your mark for this one, UMS 100, UMS 100, how out of 100 how much you scored, and then they will calculate together out of 300 how much you scored. Using this they will calculate your grade. So they call it cash in your grade. If you have 3 components, you can cash in your grade, so you will get a grade accordingly. Okay, so what you need to understand, a very important point, the exam is for 1 hour 30 minutes, take it as 90 minutes, and then the total marks for the exam is 75 marks, right? This is what I advise my students always. You see, your question booklet, right, is consists of like 25-30 pages. So you flip through the booklet, just look around what your friend is writing, what the invigilator is doing, or some noise in the exam hall and all. Your 15 minutes will be gone. So you always practice. Whenever you do mock exam at home, whenever you practice, you try to finish the whole exam in 75 minutes. Keep the 15 minutes as the grace time. Okay, so what does it tell you? When you get a 5-mark question, the maximum time you can spend on this question is 5 minutes. That's the maximum time you can spend. Initially it's not possible. After O level you are coming to AES level, right? Here everything is concept based questions. I will talk about it later. Okay, so it's very hard to solve a 5-mark question in 5 minutes. You are going to take 8-9 minutes. It's completely all right. You need to monitor your time. Slowly you reduce your time. If it's a 5-mark question, you should be able to solve the question between 3 to 3.5 minutes. The balance time, right? You need to keep it for harder questions. There are like harder concepts like graphs and transformation, trigonometry, radians and all. So you can use the balance time in those harder questions. So my piece of advice from day one, you need to monitor your time. So the time management is very important. Okay, so you have 3 components. And then these are all the exam series, and then this is the calculator you should be using, and then how the UMS raw score works, and then the time management. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the textbook now. Okay, I'm gonna show you the textbook now. This is the Pure Math 1 textbook. If you scroll down, you will see there are 9 chapters, 1 to 9, algebraic expression, quadratics, blah blah blah, differentiation, integration and all. I'll show you how to make use of this textbook. If you go to chapter 1, there are 4 subtopics: index laws, expanding brackets and all, right? In every topic you will have 1 exercise. So if you go to the first chapter, first topic, you'll see example questions and then exercise questions. These are all like O-level math, too basic. And then in exercise questions, you will see questions marked as P. That means problem solving question. You need to use your little bit of brain to figure out how to solve it. That's problem solving questions, P. These questions are important. Sometimes E/P, E means exam style questions. You will see this type of questions in the past papers. So these questions are important. So I'm gonna go to the next exercise. You will see E/P or E. These are all important. Okay, you should not miss these questions. And then at the end of the chapter, if you finish all the topics, all the exercise, you will have a chapter review at the end of every chapter, which is a combination of the questions from all the topics. Here also you will see exam style questions. These questions are very important. So if you finish 4 chapters, right, there is something called review exercise. You will see review exercise after chapter 4. Review exercise 1, which consists of questions from chapter 1 to chapter 4. Sometimes they take questions from this exercise also. Similar pattern questions. Here also questions are marked as E and E/P, right? These questions are very important. You have to go through these questions. And then comes chapter 5, straight line graphs. So you finish chapter 9, you will see another review exercise. After chapter 9, you will see review exercise 2, which consists of questions from chapter 5 to 9. So you need to practice all these questions. So now, if you want to learn all these chapters one by one, I have our YouTube channel. I'm going to show you the channels also. We have our main channel, Pi by Me Maths, where we have posted all the past paper questions. You can see Pure Math 1 past papers till May-June 2024, all the way back to specimen paper 2, January 2021 and all. Everything is here. And then paper 2 also here, Pure Math 3 is here, Pure Math 4, Statistics 1 also here. If you want to learn the concepts topic by topic, we have our second channel, Pi by Me Maths online lessons, where you can see when you scroll down, you will see S2, P4, P3, S1. You see S1, 4 chapters are there. I will upload the rest of the chapters also. Pure Math 1, chapter 1 to chapter 9, integration. You open all these playlists, you will see topic by topic video, so you can make use of it. Okay, and then there is one Google Drive link. If you go to the description of my channel, you will see a Google Drive link. This is the Google Drive link. If you click that link, you will see Cambridge, Oxford AQA, Pearson Edexcel. You need to go to Pearson Edexcel. Here you go to textbook and work the solution. You can download the textbook from here. IAL P1 textbook, P2 and S1 also here, and then work the solutions. That means step by step working of every exercise questions. For example, if you open P1, go to chapter 1, you will see all the exercise here. I'm gonna open some exercise just to show you what's in there. You'll see step by step working of exercise questions. So you can make use of this link. And then not only the textbook, you have all the past paper questions here. The main one is chapter wise questions. If you click that and go to Pure Math 1, you will see chapter wise questions. What is this actually? When you open, you have question paper QP, marking scheme MS. I have consolidated all the questions of all the chapter 1 questions from every past paper since 2018, the first sitting, right? I have consolidated all the past paper questions here for chapter 1, and then chapter 2, chapter 3, you can make use of it. It's QP is question paper, MS is the marking scheme. So this will be useful. Or if you want component wise paper, you go to component wise paper, you see WMA 11, P1, you will see all the P1 past papers from 2019 with the markings. Or you can go here and download year-wise paper. Year-wise paper, you click, you can go to any particular year, and then you will see question paper. You open the question paper, you will see all the components for the particular exam series. So you have all the resources here. You can make use of this link also. So we looked at the textbook and we looked at the link and the YouTube channel, how to make use of them and all, right? I just wanted to show you the question paper now. This will be your board exam paper. This is where you need to write your surname and other name, and then your center number, candidate number. This is the paper code. The time is 1 hour 30 minutes, and then international advanced, subsidiary advanced level, Pure Math 1. You will be given a formula booklet actually in the exam. The formula booklet consists of some formulas for P2. In P1 it's not really useful, but for P2 there are some formulas there. you if they don't give you, you have the right to ask the invigilator. And then it clearly states use black ballpoint pen or ink pen. I would never recommend the ink pen. You can use a black ballpoint pen. And then it clearly says there are 11 questions and the total marks is 75. So when you go to question number 1, this is question number 1, this is the total mark. If you see a 3 mark here, you can spend maximum of 3 minutes for this question. You should be able to finish the question in 3 minutes. It's 2 mark, you should be able to finish it in 2 minutes. And then you will be given more than enough space to write the answer. You see how many blank pages? Just for a 5 mark question you have 2 whole page, right? Do not write the answer in between the question. Even though you have space here, do not write the answers here. You need to write it in the lines provided. And then the question number 2 all the way question number 11. This is how your question paper looks. And then this is the marking scheme. One very important thing about this curriculum, right? I'm going to show you some codes here. They use these codes. You see, where is it? It's in here. You see M mark and then A mark, B mark. I will explain what are they here. In Pearson Edexcel, even though your answer is correct, let's say you have written your answer 21.6 degree is your answer, they always put A1 here. You know what is A1? You will be awarded 1 mark if you have scored the previous method mark. If you have shown the method and you got 1 mark here, then you will be given A1. If no method is given, this is 0. Automatically, even though your answer is correct, you will be given 0. That's why you need to write your methods clearly. And then you have B1. That's, they call it unconditional mark or something. Whether you write the working or not, you will be given B1. But if you go through marking scheme, you will notice most of the questions, right, the answer is A1. I will show you a sample here. You see, I'm going to go to question number 1 now. In question number 1, you see A1. You will be given this A1 if you have scored this M1. If you don't score this by writing this step, the M1 will be 0, this will be 0, the total mark will be 0, even though your answer is correct. So don't assume that if your answer is correct, you will be given a mark. You need to show the methods clearly. So these are all the things about this curriculum. And about the content of the A-level math. Usually in O-level math, let's say you learn how to solve a quadratic equation x squared plus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. That's a method you learned, and you will get a similar question, right? They will just change the numbers, you will get a similar question. But in AS level, it's all concept based questions. What do I mean by that? You need to learn the concept properly, and then the question will be entirely different from O-level math actually. You need to apply the concept you learned and solve. You will understand it if you go through the past paper questions. So these are all the things you need to know about AS level math. And then when you go to A level, year 13, you will have 3 components again. You have P3, P4. You can either take M2 or S2. Some students, they take S1 in AS level and M1 in A level, or M1 in AS level, S1 in A level also. But these 2 are compulsory components. You need to take either one of these components. So you need 3 components to cash in the grade. And then you are eligible for A star in A level. That's the highest grade. So you need to get very high score in AS level plus high score in A level. They will combine everything. So total 600 UMS mark, right? They will look at your total and they will calculate it to find the grade. So if you want to get A star in A level, you need to get really high in AS level. So that's all. These are all the things you need to know about this IAL Pearson Edexcel AS level. So basically that's all. Just want to tell you one more thing. You will have board exam in AS level, which is year 12. and in year 13 also. You will have board exam in both the years actually. So that's all. If you guys have any other questions about this curriculum, feel free to drop a comment. I'll try to answer as much as possible. Thank you so much.